We should be out live. Hey guys, what's up? Sorry, nothing wants to work tonight, so we're working on it. I think we're ready. My goodness, nothing wants to work. Nothing wants to work. All right. Sorry, guys. There we go. Jess, you ready? Jesse, are you Jesse? Jesse.
Hello.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Good. Chad, are you ready?
Listo.
Okay, here we go. I'm hitting record on this. Okay, sorry guys. Here we go. All right. On top of everything else, guys, my whole soundboard went wiped out, closed, wiped out, gone. So it's like none of my sounds are where I want them to be. It's a whole nightmare. All right, here we go. 3, 2. I think this is the opening music. 3, 2. We're gonna find out. 1.
You wanna know how to find it. Seek it out when they hide it. You know it's in the bag when it's an easy grab. But come on, take a chance now. So go, geocache, geocache. And if you need help, we're right there in a flash. If you got a question, just call in and ask. I cover the stash on the Geocaching Podcast. The Geocaching Podcast.
Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday. It is 8:30, which means that it is once again time for the Geocaching Podcast. My name is Scott Burks. I got Shorty Knits manning the phones, and please welcome to my virtual left, my co-host, Jazz 427.
Howdy, y'all. It's time to make up for some past mistakes.
Tonight's episode is 553, recorded live on March 13th, 2019, and it is 10 mistakes to avoid while geocaching. Phone lines are open. Give us a call, 808-468-7924. That is 808-GOT-SWAG. But first, my dear Chad, two things. One, we got Patreon to talk about, and two, we have a new sponsor too, Chad. Did you even notice that? Did you even notice?
No, I didn't.
But first off, Chad, let's talk Patreon. It costs a lot of money to make this show run, guys. We could really use your help. There's a lot of things on the other side. On the inner circle, we've got, audio shows. We got video shows. It's a lot of fun over there. We appreciate it. We've got over 40 subscribers into it. We got 2 new subscribers today. We've got the Kretz Family 5 out of McHenry, Illinois, which is way west of where I currently live. We appreciate them very much. And we've got out of Vancouver, Washington, a gold star. Gold star, Chad. Gold star patron.
Awesome.
Team Mars out of Vancouver, Washington.
I bet they've done Doctor Who.
I bet he has done Doctor. Jessie did Doctor Who. She's done that one.
They're just north of Portland there.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to live around here. He used to be a local, but he moved away. So
okay.
It's good to hear from him. Yeah. But yes. Thank you, Team Mars, becoming a gold star patron. We love all our patrons. We little more love our gold star patrons. Are the best. We love them so much. So please give us anything you can. patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast.
All right. I should be reading my show notes, but I was pausing the video, live video on my tablet there. So sorry about that. Tonight's show is brought to you by Cachly. Cachly is an advanced geocaching app for iOS. It features powerful online and offline features, including filtered searches, offline maps, and offline saving of caches. Cachly has hundreds of advanced features that make your geocaching experience just that much better. Get more information at cachly.com. That's CACHLY.com.
Tonight, we're also sponsored by Logwork. Logwork are the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine write-in-the-rain paper. Logbooks are designed for the micro-containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who would rather go caching than do cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
It's also brought to you by FTF Geocacher Magazine. FTF Geocacher is the magazine for geocachers written by geocachers with 6 issues a year. FTF offers practical advice, hints and tips, cacher bios and milestones, geocaching events, trail tales, and all things geo-related. Find them at ftfgeocacher.com. That's ftfgeocacher.com.
And to our newest sponsor, the Max Suds Body Company. Max Suds Body Company makes handmade bath and body products from all natural oils and butters. Items such as Poison Be Gone soap, itch spray, and 2-cent choices of bug spray are all great for outdoor enthusiasts like geocachers. Be prepared to your next outdoor adventure. At Max Suds Body, we have you covered from head to toe. And as a GCPC sponsor, get this, Chad. We have a special promotion from now until April 18th. Use the code BRINGONSPRING. That's one word, BRINGONSPRING, and you will get 10% off your purchase. Find them at maxsudsbody.com. That is MACSUDSBODY.com. Now, Chad, I actually used this before. I've actually had this stuff. When I had my infamous poison ivy all over my body situation a couple of years ago, I told the story on this show, and she actually got a hold of me and said, "Hey, I'm going to send you some of this stuff. You use it. Let me know how it works." She sent it to me. Loved it. It was great.
Awesome.
It was fantastic. So I cannot recommend them enough. The owner's a great lady. Again, Max Suds Body. Thank you so much for joining the family. We love to have you here. Thank you so much, guys. How do you go wrong? Bring on spring, 10% off. Come on. Go. They got the store's humongous. There's so much stuff there. Something for everyone.
Yeah. Sounds like something I'm gonna look into about at least getting some of that bug spray. So when I head back to Texas, because man, they got some bugs there.
And you can find the links to all our sponsors in our show notes. All right, we're gonna start this. We got to move this right along, Chad. We got so much to talk about tonight. Let's start. We got some news here. So
yeah. So in the news,
there you go. Sorry, I had to find the button because everything's all screwed up here.
So in the news, we got the first geocache is about to cross the 10,000 favorite point barrier. It as of today, it has 9,985 favorite points. So it's the Lego cache, the famous Lego cache, Einer ist Zuviel. I probably butchered that last one, so my German isn't that great.
That's just German.
But it's the Lego dinosaur in Germany, in Berlin, Germany. Actually, about a couple miles from where I was born.
No, you're kidding.
So I need to get back there one day so I can do that virtual.
How about that?
Or actually, no, it's not a virtual. It's a traditional. Yeah.
Look at Jesse piping into
correct me.
Correct, Chad. Way to go, Jess. Also, this Friday night, guys, on the patron-only Friday night roundtable, we have the one, the only, the immortal Walter Grogan coming in to sit with me to discuss, of course, what else? The one that made the Chicago Geocacher podcast famous. We're going to be discussing geocaching in the news. We're just going through news stories, talk about geocaching, me and Walter. It's going to be a fun episode, guys. The only way to hear it is being a patron of this show. So looking forward to hearing from Walt once again, guys. It should be coming your way probably about Saturday or Sunday. So look forward to it. It's going to be some fun.
And I made two mistakes on that comment about the Lego there. It's a giraffe, not a dinosaur. My brain was going to the there is a Lego dinosaur virtual in Florida.
And he was wrong across.
And so that's where my mind went.
That whole news story.
Don't worry, you said dinosaur, but in my mind, I pictured the giraffe.
Giraffe.
Yeah, I pictured the giraffe too. Yeah, so no worries on that. Oh, hey, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
We've got an email, by the way, buddy.
I got mail. Yay! I got mail. Yay!
We got an email. We got an email from Acme Wildcachers, Chad. He's a patron. I'd ring the bell, but I don't have the bell sound because I didn't load the bell sound because I only got
ding
on here. Thank you. He says, I was one of the few people, this is Acme Wildcachers, I was one of the few people that could mark off, quote, burned by wild parsnip while geocaching, unquote, on the West Bend Cacher bingo card last year. Yes, they had every year West Bend has bingo cards, who's from out of state and that kind of stuff. I took the day off last July and did a series that was not quite a power trail. One of the caches was behind a section of tall weeds. but I didn't think anything of it because I was wearing pants despite the high temperatures. Over the next few days, I got this blistering rash on my right elbow and started spreading up and down my arm. I initially assumed it was just dermatitis, but the blistering was something I'd never seen before. I eventually connected the dots about what might have happened and found even more evidence when I noticed that one of my logs from that day had a selfie with tall grass and weeds in the background where little yellow flowers were visible. Jesse, we know what those little yellow flowers are, don't we?
Yeah, I know what they look like very well.
You do?
Mhm.
So he says that's from Carson. Yeah, Carson, unfortunately, yes. Yeah, they're all over West Bend. When you go to West Bend, you got to be careful out there because we were in a preserve out there, and we saw a ton of it
Mhm.
while we were out
There's
there.
fields of them.
Yeah, it was a ton.
Yeah.
Moving along, Chad, before we get into our show again, once before we get into our show. Hey, Chad, so this
Mhm.
let me tell you about my Monday. First of all, I'm going to bring somebody in here. I have a caller here. I have got a cashier. I've got a cashier named Avro Air. Avro Air. Mark, are you there, sir?
I am here. How are you guys doing this evening?
Good, Mark. How are you, sir?
I'm just fine.
Good. So I Monday morning. Let me take everybody back to Monday morning. Monday morning, I am sitting at my desk at work. It's about 7:45, 7:30, 7:45. I am doing the 21st century version of reading the paper, which means I am looking at the internet. I'm looking at social media. I'm looking at I'm looking at CNN. I'm just seeing what happened overnight, what happened over the weekend. And I come across on Twitter, I come across Joshua, the geocaching vloggers, uh, thing about snag the tag. He hashtag snag the tag. And so I go, like, what the hell is that? And so I click it and it takes me to snagthetag.com. Snagthetag.com, guys, it's quoted as being a game inside the game. And Mark here is one of the are you one of the originators of it, Mark? Is that what you are?
Yeah,
Yeah, for lack of a better term.
you
Yeah.
can call me that,
Okay.
among other things, among other hats. Yes.
Okay, so I see so I'm on the website and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. And what it gives, it's a little they're saying people are hiding these little backpacks, these little they look like a coin, but it's a backpack. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I'm scrolling down the page and it's really early on Monday and some are just publishing, right? As I'm there on the page. And I see one publish in Chicago, like 5 miles from my work. And I'm like, oh. And so I look, I'm like, I know that preserve. I know exactly where that is. And so I have to wait from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. That's the earliest I can go eat. So that was like the longest wait I've ever had waiting for a quote FTF, I guess, for lack of a better term, I've ever had to wait was waiting for 11 o'clock to hit. As soon as 11 o'clock hit, I was out the door, drove my butt to that preserve, which was about 5 miles away. And it took me about 10 minutes, but I got it. I found it. So what it is, guys, it's this thing right here. I apologize for everybody listening like I do at work. You can't see, but as I'm showing like the people in the screen, you can see it's a little backpack. On the back
Cool.
here, it's got a code, which doesn't really matter. Okay, it's good. It's hiding the code. And it's got a little thing. It's got a little strand here. And what it does is when you find this, you go back to the site and you log this on the site, and then they send you a trackable coin, which I just got today. Now, mind you, I found this Monday. I got the coin already. Bang! There's the coin.
Oh, wow.
It's this little ninja right here. You see him right there? And what you do is you take this, and this thing fits on the ninja like so. Hold on. Ugh, and there you go. Now you got a coin, a ninja with a backpack, and the ninja is also trackable. There you go. So it's kind of cool that I got. I mean, so far only one's come out in Chicago, and I got it. I saw one come out in Dixon, Illinois. So I've got Mark here, who one of the originators of it. So Mark, genius idea, sir. Well done. I've never heard of it. Jesse says, one of our hosts, Jesse, she's heard of it before. I had never heard of it before.
Yeah.
So what is this game, and how did it get started? What is this game?
So first of all, congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
what you experienced is what we call snagging a tag. You know, you're one of the few people that actually found one. And so the game, the concept is very simple. We say, get there first, find the tag, and claim it for a prize. So each day tags are published on the site. We have certain games going on that are highly themed. And then the way players actually know about it is they're notified either through the website, through email, or through social media posts.
Okay, yeah, and when you go onto the site and you create an account, then you can, which is what I did. I have it set up now. I get notifications if something goes live within 30 miles of my house, or
Exactly.
yeah, so or somebody finds one 30 miles from my house, same thing. And so currently, what you have? Oh, sorry, go ahead, please.
No, I was just going to say. So this appeals to a large crowd of caches. It's a game within a game, like you had mentioned before. It appeals to both hiders and finders, and amplifies, those memorable aspects of geocaching, certain ones of them. And so for finders, it's like the thrill of the hunt.
Sure.
It's that waiting at your desk to go get a cache,
Right.
or, first to find. And I'm not a big first to find person, but I've had those moments where we've all had those moments where we've happened to be in the right place at the right time. A cache comes up, and I'm off to go get that. And people share their adventures online, and it's a very cool way to earn a really cool trackable prize. In this case, it's a little ninja. So sort of like every tag find has a story, and a few of them are really epic. And so we've had some amazing stories that have come from this. Similar to geocaching, when you go to an event and you talk to geocachers and they start talking about that stuff.
I couldn't believe it was still there. And what's beautiful is you could also put a watch on it as well. So I had a watch on it so I could see if anybody got it or not. But it was nice that I got it. And so currently, I think this is the only one going on currently. Am I correct? The Urban Ninja one.
Yeah.
And how many?
Yeah, we have an Urban Ninja theme game. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And how many are out there? Like, do you have a total number of how many backpacks are out there?
Yeah, we have 300 that will be out there overall, and so they're spread across the U.S., actually North America, because they're in Canada as well, and they're also spread across Europe.
Wow!
And I actually have a couple feats, what I call epic feats, that I wanted to share with you.
Sure.
We had, for one of our past games, we had a couple drive down from Canada into New York, wait in New York at that published time, saw that the cache, the actual tag was being published. They raced over to get the tag, and there were 7 people there already. And so they had, a snag flash mob. And so one of the lucky, 9 people got it, but the other 7, met new friends. And we have one European actually hitchhiked 500 kilometers to go get a tag in Austria.
Wow.
So that was pretty epic.
Well, I mean, hey, it's pretty. I mean, it's extremely rare if it's worldwide and there's only 300. I mean, I feel quite honored to be one of 300 to find, and the only in Illinois, or the only in Chicago. There's one in Dixon, Illinois. At least so far. Are more coming out, or is that it? Are they all out?
So the game ran from mid-February and it runs till the end of March. So yes, they come out each day. We have a set time where they get published out. And
hello?
Did we lose him?
I don't think so. Oh, I lost him. No,
he's still on the call. Oh, we lost him.
Okay.
Let me see if I can call him back.
Well, I just went to the website, created an account, and set up a 60-mile around Folsom, California. And I know Gary's going to do this too. So buddy of mine here, and he's a first to find hound. So Gary, I know you're listening, or going to be listening on the MP3 later. If you get one of these, call me, and we'll go get it together.
Let's see. I think he's back. Let me see if I can bring him back in. I think this is him.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Hey, Mark. Hello.
Hey, sorry, I'm back.
There you
just
go.
Cut off. So I apologize for that. Actually, I think a tag published, so I was just going to go off and get it. So yeah. Anyway, No, as I was saying, so, it dovetails nicely with the hiders because the hiders get to share some amazing places. The listings are all very visual. There's multiple photographs. They share them on social media.
Right.
The field is wide open. And once it's claimed, it's gone. So there's no maintenance. And
Right.
no
It's
proximity
totally
rules.
gone. Right. It's totally gone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
so a tag can be placed in the center of Chicago, and then it gets picked up, and then you can put another one there a week later.
right. Exactly. Yeah. That's the beauty of it. Once it's like one and done kind of a thing. Yeah. And
Right.
so there's 300 tags out there. We
Yes.
talked about how the game, is there anything we're missing on how the game works? I think we talked about how the game works. Is there anything else we need to know about it other than obviously people hide a tag, they put it into the site, the site goes live, somebody finds it, they log it, and they get a
Right.
and they get a trackable out of it.
And then they get a trackable, very cool. I've been into geocoins for 15 years. And so, being able to experiment with some cool geocoins and how a tag could fit with a geocoin, just like the Ninja in the little backpack that it goes with, is something that's really cool. We do have two types of games, basically. So we have what we call house games and what we call partner games. And so the house game is a highly themed game, such as the Ninja game that's going on right now. And we run those probably 3 or 4 times a year. And that's run by us, Snag the Tag. And in this case, we're hiding the Ninja backpacks for people can redeem for a coin.
Mm-hmm.
And then the partner games, we partner with an event, a mega event, or a geocaching association to run a game in their location. And we've really gamified the promotion of these events. So this is where this actually started, was WSGA, which is the Washington State Geocaches. They wanted a way to get people to be aware of the event and also attend the event. And so we've gamified that promotion. And so instead of posting your typical registration over and over, come and join us, we now have 2,000 players all around the world, and it's like growing rapidly, who participate in sharing the event, sharing the awareness. And it's a great way for events to stand out. And actually, as a finder, if you have to go and redeem at the event to get your coin, that's a compelling reason to go pick up your prize.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And then when there's new games, how do finders get notified when there are new games? Is it just by social media and by the website?
Pretty much. We have email signups. So for a new game, so the Ninja game's split into 2. This is the Apprentice Urban Ninja game, and then the next game is going to be a Master Urban Ninja, each with different geocoins involved. And so we have signups on all of our social media channels on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Right. And can anyone become a hider, and how does that happen?
Yes. So we have signups for hiders. So what the hiders do is they'll buy a packet from us, which contains a geocoin and tag for them, as well as a couple of tags to go out and hide. And then there's also instructions for that particular game in the thing, so they can learn what's going on. We also have a community group, and we have a hiders group. Mm-hmm. And so, new hiders can ask questions and stuff like that. Basically, when you actually find a tag, I don't think we discussed this part, there's a 6-digit claim code on the back of the tag. Mm-hmm. And the finder goes to the tag page, claims it, and then basically follows the instructions for redeeming. That can be like done by mail, which is what this Ninja game is. Or it could be, pick up at an event. If a mega event wanted to do something like that, they're already making coins, so they would maybe pick up a special edition of the coin.
Right. Well, that's a genius idea. And no, that'd be smart for a mega event to get involved with. It would be very smart. Yeah. I mean, for actually to have, especially, West Bend. Me and Jesse were talking right off the bat. West Bend, I'm sure would jump all over it. Because they're, it's the same place every year. They have a local group of people who love this thing, and they would love to go out and hide these things and have people find them and have it go live. So, like something like that, I'm sure would be phenomenal.
Yes, definitely, and it dovetails nicely with a couple of other things because tracking codes are discounted for megas, and megas usually have their own social media set up. So we can actually run all the tag listings through that. All the tag listings actually come through on social media, and they come through with photographs. So when you see the photograph, you're like, I know that place.
Right.
Then you're out the
right.
door and you're off to go.
Yeah,
so,
right. Yes.
So
yes.
it's not just writing and you have to like scroll through some writing. It's definitely visual with a lot of photographs and stuff. And we got a lot of cool things planned for the future too.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, the one that was in right by my work, I saw like it had somebody, whoever, I don't even know who put it out. I couldn't even tell you. It doesn't tell you who puts it out, does it? I didn't see their name anywhere. But
it tells me as an admin, but it doesn't tell you.
Right,
and
right.
you know, that is one of the courtesy things we found is those people are so happy to get these. They're like, thank you so much to the hider. You know, it's you know, definitely one of those thanks for the cash kind of deals, because you know the hiders are an integral part of the game.
Oh yeah. Well, for the record, Mark, I did sign up to be a hider for the next one, so hopefully I get paid.
Oh, awesome.
I did sign up. And then last question before I let you go, what's the plans? What's your future plans? I mean, you've got this amazing thing that's I'm assuming exploding, because I'm seeing you guys all over social media. I'm seeing you. I saw you. You were on Sunny and Sandy, and now I've got you on this show. What's your plans for the future? What are you guys going to do?
Well, we're continually innovating and customizing the game experience. So, and that's both on, we're adding features both for hiders and finders. We've got a lot of really cool ideas. One of those ideas would be, depending on how long the tags are hidden, that could give you points. So we could do some point systems and things like that. And we could do certain, just all kinds of things with the game and making the game run better and better. For the Halloween, we did a tag, or what we called a tag haunt, which was a Halloween event. And the tags are actually published in the evening. We can change wherever we want to publish them. And the tags glowed in the dark. Oh, nice. So people could go out and find them in the evening, and we put them in kind of old trees and stuff like that.
Sure.
So we'd like to get to the point where players can actually order and custom build their own games around geocaching events, or even geocaching associations, because I mean, a lot of state associations are so far apart, and you know, this is something to sort of unify the whole state and stuff like that. So
sure.
Bringing in those partnerships with a lot of those geocaching, like I said, organizations and mega events and stuff like that is really the direction we want to go.
That would be a smart way to go. Yes, I agree with you. Chad, any questions for Mark here?
No, I was just looking on here on how I could sign up, and I found it in the FAQ section. There's a link in there as to how you can sign up to be a hider. So, sounding pretty cool.
Is there any near you, Chad?
What?
None near me at the moment.
No, you're in California too. I'm surprised.
So, well, maybe they've been out here and have been found. So
true, that is true.
So looks like there's.
Yeah, I think we've had 6 or 7 in the game in California, and they all get picked up pretty fast. The tags don't typically last. There's a few areas where they last about 3 days. But in Washington, where we've been doing this for 3 years, typical is like under the hour, they're gone.
And what's funny is no, not funny, but the beauty part of this is when you're a hider is that like you could take it on vacation with you and drop it while you're on vacation, because
exactly.
it's one and done.
Very mobile.
Yeah, it's mobile, so you can take it anywhere. You can go to Hawaii and dump one in Hawaii. You know, that's what's kind of nice about it.
That's what happened a lot for the we did a GeoCoin Fest one, the GeoCoin Fest Mega, and we had 500 tags for that game. And people were PMing me and saying, "Oh, I'm taking a road trip. Can I take these?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can take them wherever wherever you want to put them." And they said, "Okay, I need to buy another hider packet because I'm going to be putting them all over the place." Right. And a lot of the hiders, they'll put them in different states and stuff like that. We have stats and all that kind of stuff. Right. So it's putting it in. No one's been in that state before. Let me go put one in there and stuff like that. So sure. There's some pretty cool dynamics. And I mean, like I said, a lot of it's very memorable. I mean, you'll remember that you found the tag. And so we're trying to capture those experiences, and we do with the photographs and sharing it and everything like that. The really cool parts of geocaching where you share that memorable story.
Yes, Mark, you took coins and you upped the game, and I gotta hand it to you, man. Kudos to you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for the awesome coin and the backpack. I appreciate it very much, sir. Great job on this. And I look forward to the other one. The other, when is the master coming out? This is the apprentice. When's the master coming out?
The master's going to be coming out probably around in early summer. We don't have any exact dates yet because we're juggling a few things with a mega event that wants to put out some stuff, and we'll give them priority. But we're looking at maybe running a couple of games, but we want to run games year round. And it's quite easy actually to go find out what's going on. If you go onto the website, it's kind of right at the front there. And as I said, we're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and you can definitely opt in even for emails on the website because those hit first. And so you get an email, it's like, ping, okay, that one's kind of near me. And you can put proximity rules in for your notifications. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, anybody within the sound of my voice, it takes nothing to go and sign up, and just notification. I mean, why wouldn't you? Who doesn't like coins? And a coin that barely anybody has to boot. It's kind of nice. So, Mark, thank you so much. Kudos on the game. I look forward to playing it some more and seeing what else you got up your sleeve.
Same here.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, guys.
No, our pleasure. Please, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Chad.
Oh yeah,
I'd never heard of it. Jesse's heard of it.
I hadn't heard of it until today, and I was like, okay, this is interesting, and now I'm hooked. Well, I'll be hooked once someone drops one in my area.
So Jesse, how did you hear about it?
I saw it on social media, probably. Well, I think it had to have been right around GeoCoinFest, because I know that there was a game in conjunction with GeoCoinFest, and so I looked at the map, and there was absolutely nothing even in the Midwest, and
Right.
so there were a whole bunch out east, and I think probably a whole bunch out west and a few out east, and so I just kind of dismissed it, thinking, well, it's not in our area, and then Scott sent me an email on Monday morning and said, I'm going for this at lunchtime. I went, oh, well, that's cool. There is one in our area. So
Yes. I
yeah,
mean,
very
when
cool.
I say total fluke that I saw it, total fluke. I mean, the timing was perfect. Like, I just happened to click on it and I saw, I'm like, and I'm scrolling and I go, I know that sign. It was like, because what they do is the people that they tell you not just to put text, but they tell you to like actually put pictures. So they
Right.
had a picture of the forest preserve entrance, and then they had a picture of like the where it was, like, and then
Right.
a closer picture of where it was, like kind of that thing. So it was pretty
Plus
cool.
coordinates. So
Yeah, and coordinates. Yes, plus coordinates. But they make it so you find it. They
Right.
want you to find it before somebody else does. So the website again is snag, SNAG, thetag.com. Again, costs nothing to go sign up. How can you not sign up? I mean, again, this is a sweet coin, man. Look at this thing. It's a
Mhm.
sweet coin. Nice coin. Nice little gotta go nice in my collection. Yeah, and I'm hoping I'm a hider for the next one. I really hope I get the hide. I think that'll be a lot of fun. But let's get to Chad. Let's get to the
mistakes.
the mistakes. What the people came to hear about, or if they came to hear this, then we're done. From the GC blog in February, I saw geocaching said to avoid the 10 mistakes that you do, and I thought this is an interesting thing because I do more mistakes than this. I know there's more than 10. Anybody, if you disagree, agree, or have another mistake, give us a call. 808-GOT-SWAG, 808-468-7924. We'd like to hear from you. Come on, give us a call, guys. We've been so crazy here. We've had no calls in weeks because we've had guests on, but there's no guests. So let's have some interaction. We love the interaction. So mistake number 1, Chad and Jesse, forgetting to bring a pen. Chad.
And I think that is the first mistake that geocachers learn about, or at least one of the first. So, classic mistake that still gets the best of us. Keep an extra pin in your car, your jacket, or near your phone, so you'll always have one handy. Um, Now, personally, I actually use a small Fisher space pin that is hooked to my key ring. Therefore,
And your
as long as I'm caching locally, it's with me 100% of the time. Now, when I go to mega events and stuff like that, I'm not carrying around my keys. Well, then I'm pretty much have a pin with me all the time.
Yeah, it's in your backpack. Yeah. So
So,
I once early in my caching career, it had to be probably 10 years ago. I had to it was a cache that was I was in a forest preserve and there's a down tree and there's a creek. But more like a stream because it was pretty wide. But there was a down tree and there was another down tree like so here's the tree and there's a tree like this. I can't. It's like this. So you had to walk the tree to get to the big tree. Walk the little tree to get to the big tree. You understand? So you're
mhm.
like balancing yourself to get to the big tree. It was a balancing act. It was no joke. And so I balanced on my way, and it was a good probably 50 feet. So I balanced my way out there. Didn't fall in, and I was a newbie too. Got there, opened the cache, and it was the ammo can because this is, the aughts, and in the aughts we had ammo cans, not like the teens we have now.
Mhm.
Um, and if you can believe it, I did not have a pen on me.
Oh, I can believe it.
But you know what I did have on me? And this is the first time I'd ever done this, and the millions of times I'd done it since. You know what I did have on me, Chad?
Something that could draw blood.
Something? No, I had a lighter on me
Ah,
because I
okay.
smoked at the time and I do not smoke anymore. So what I did is I lit the bottom corner of the log enough so it made like a little brown mark,
Right.
and then I smooshed it away and put it out. And that's how I logged the cache. And I probably logged 50
Yeah.
after that from always forgetting a pen. I don't forget a pen now because now I'm usually in my car and I always have a pen in my center console
Hmm.
unless Jesse takes it and doesn't put it back. But yeah, so I had to do that. So luckily I didn't have to go back and forth again. But that was the first time that was the first time I never had a pen. The first time.
So, yeah, I had plenty of experiences where going back to the car to get a pin out of the center console. And then I had the roughly half-mile hike in on a 104-degree day, wearing work clothes, starting to sweat to death, and not having a pin, and going all the way. This was before I learned the trick of pricking your finger with blood, or pricking your finger, and then using blood as
You
a
literally
signature.
signed your name in blood.
I
Literally.
didn't. No, that time, this was before I had learned that. That
Oh,
time I went all the way back to the car, all the way back, then all the way back. So 2 miles back and forth in 104, 105-degree temperatures in dress clothes.
Chad,
I went home. I went home after that and changed.
yeah, tomorrow's another day, sir. Come on, man.
So, and then the second time where so I had learned that lesson and I had used blood afterwards, except for a sewer tunnel cache hide where I had gone way too far up the sewer tunnel to begin with, and came back, and I pulled the cache out and I realized I don't have a friggin' pen.
Mhm.
This was at night as well. I'm not going back out and coming back in, and I'm damn sure not pricking my finger in this scummy hellhole. So I actually took my keys and scratched my name. You can kind of tell it's there. Took a photo and put it as evidence. It's like, if this isn't proof enough, then you can
Take a
remove
picture of
you can remove my name
Right. Now that we have
from the cache.
now we have phones, you can just take a picture of it too. Jesse does that all the time.
I
Jesse,
take pictures, and I also have been known to use a stick in the mud.
yes,
Use
the old
mud.
stick in the mud. Yes, stick in the mud.
I've done that a time or two.
Do you remember the first time you ever forgot a pen? Was it with me?
No, I
Was it
don't.
with me?
Probably. Well, I don't forget them. I lose them. I lose Scott's pens
She does.
all the time. I take the pen out of his car, put it in my pocket, and by the time we get to the
She's
cache,
got,
it is
got those chick pants. You know, like the chick pants
gone.
with the really short
Front pockets.
pockets. They
There's
got
no
no
pockets.
there's no
Women
pockets in
can't.
girl pants. What's with that? What
I wasn't aware of that.
Well, I wasn't aware of it too until Jesse kept losing all my pens, and then
Okay.
because you got these tiny little pockets. So number
Sorry.
2, not reading the cache description. Geocache
Guilty.
descriptions can contain important information about the hide, Chad. They may describe the area, share pertinent details, list any tools of the trade, or drop subtle hints to help make the find more fun.
Oh yeah, I've been guilty of this. I do a much better job today than what I did in the past because, well, I've learned those lessons.
Yeah.
Especially here because there's so many tots required that I pretty much make it a at least a effort to scan for the word tot. If it's a too long didn't read type of scenario, I will at least look for some key acronyms.
See, I never really read the cache description unless we can't find the cache. Then I'll move to it. And then I pretty much first thing I check is the DT rating and see, okay, is it, is it a high difficulty rating? If not, then what's going on here? But yeah, I mean, not unless I 9 times out of 10, Jesse, chime in if you disagree with me. Like, we don't read the cache description.
No, we don't. And
And there's some good friggin' descriptions out there too.
yeah, people put a lot of time and effort into cache descriptions, but it helps if you read it if you're going to do a field puzzle to know what exactly it is that you need to do at the field puzzle. So there's a very highly favorited cache down in like central Illinois, and I stopped on my way from Chicago to St. Louis with my son. And it's like late at night. We're already behind schedule, and it's the middle of summer, like August, and it's buggy and it's awful and miserable. So I'm like, okay, we park the car, we make our way out into the middle of the woods at this rest area, and there are mosquitoes everywhere, and we're hot and we're running, and we get all the way out there. And I knew it was, some sort of you have to do something in order to get into it. And so we got out there, and I opened it up, and I went, oh my God, it's a padlock. I don't know what the code is. So I read the description. Sure enough, you have to go to the other side of the building and get some numbers or off of a rock or a plaque and then go out. So we had to go all the way back. It's like, quarter-mile hike each way. So we go all the way back, maybe not that far. Sure seemed like it, though, with the spider webs and the mosquitoes. So and learned my lesson.
There you go. Number 3, sir. Not checking the latest activity. Take a look at the activity log on the cache page before heading out. It's helpful to know if the cache was recently found or is a string of DNFs. The geocaching app and new search map both share the latest found data without needing to click into further cache details.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about this, though, is that, like, I'll see 3 DNFs, but, sometimes you get newbies with 4 finds, and it's 3 of a guy and 2 buddies, and they all log a DNF when it's easily there, And one thing funny is that there's nothing I like better in this world, geocaching related, than finding a cache that's been DNF like 3 or 4 times.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
That's my drug.
Especially if you got a cacher that in the area that has DNF'd is like the boo boo.
Yeah, that's I chase that dragon. That's my high right there. Yeah, that's to do that. But no, we usually check the activity. We do that. We are not guilty of that. Jesse and I, especially if we're driving around, because usually I'm driving and telling her where to go, and I'll check before usually and see if it does have any DNFs on it.
Well, see, I'm usually using stale data because I'm not using live maps, and it's got all saved stuff, and so if I spend a few minutes there, I can't find it. First thing I'll do is I'll do a refresh on the page so that it pulls all the new data on there. And there's been a number of times that it's either been archived, disabled, or got a ton of DNFs. So, yeah, I've been there. So it's like I periodically go through and do a refresh of all my caches with GSAC and then download it all again. But yeah, it's a bit annoying that I have to do that to stay perfectly offline.
Right. Jesse, anything to add to this?
I don't know. You say that we do, but we've been known to like be looking for a cache for a good 5 minutes and then decide to check, and it's like, oh, it hasn't been found in 2 years. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, but when we're urban caching or when we're in the woods. If
No,
we're
like when we're urban caching.
urban caching, we usually check, don't we? I usually see it.
Nah, I don't know.
Mm,
I know I can think of a few times that we've spent more time looking than we should have.
Yeah.
based on
Well,
laws.
we've looked and looked and looked anyway, even though it has
Oh,
DNS. We've done that.
Sure, absolutely.
I've been group caching where it's like, oh, this thing hasn't been found in 3 years. It was like, well, why was this one selected in our list?
Mistake number 4, not using your geosenses. Geosenses are honed over time, but they're key to geocaching. Just like trusting your intuition, geosenses guide you to the cache. For example, you're getting close to the cache and spot a small side trail heading in the right direction. Or perhaps you spot a small stick of unnatural parallel branches, and sure enough, the geocache you're looking for is right underneath.
Yeah, I think that's something that we pick up pretty early on, and it's about something that you have to build.
But something you could also lose, as me and Jesse have found out, that because of everything we've been going with the move and all that, our caching has been slim. And we went out, what's it like, 2 weekends ago, and like struggled. Like we were like newbies. We're like, my geosense was so off, like you do hone it.
Less than 20 caches so far this year, and we're in the middle of March. So yeah, like
wow,
yeah,
it was terrible.
Between the horrible weather in Chicago and then dealing with the move, which was like a 2-month process because of the packing and all that. It was crazy, and we're still unpacking. Although Jesse says we're going this weekend.
We are like hardcore caching.
We're going this weekend, so
I'm gonna drink like 8 cups of coffee, and we're just gonna cache all night Saturday night.
I thought you were gonna say booze. We're getting loaded and going caching. No, we want to go get that. We took video of when we finished the 2 challenges down south. We did the counties and the Delorme challenge, and we got to go get them. So I think one of the days we're gonna go get. Where are we going out to? Oswego, Illinois, which I don't even know where that is.
South of us.
We got to go get one of the caches, one of those final.
Maybe we'll get both. They're not that far from each other.
The other one's in.
The other one's in Peoria, I think.
Peoria, that's far from where we are. That's a couple of hours. Sorry, guys. Number 5, forgetting to make a list. Jesse, forgetting to make a list.
I always make lists.
I know you do. You never forget to make a list. So lists keep your geocaching life organized. So before you head out for an adventure, remember to make a list. Additionally, lists sync automatically with the geocaching app, so you can either make list changes on the website or on the go through your phone.
They also sync with Cachly.
They do. I ding, but again, I don't have my bell.
So I use GSAC to make my lists and then put it in a separate cache list. So
yeah, God, you were
but yeah,
Chad, you were so like.
I'm so Android.
Get over it, man. Come on, get with the program. Nobody uses a GPS anymore. Come on, you're like the only one. Everyone.
I don't think that's true.
I know. I'm just giving Chad grief. What is Cody saying? Cody says Borks used to be the better at the list. Yeah, I used to make great lists when I used to cache with Cody back in the day. Yeah, me and Cody Dog would go out and I'd have a list of caches we want to get. Now I have an area. I search for an area, and once I get to that place, then I'll like weed out because I'm usually driving, so I could usually dictate where we go. So that's the way I usually cache when we go urban caching.
Yeah, when I do megas with the group and stuff, I tend to be the organizers, and I organize each day, and have lists specifically for each day.
Mm-hmm. I do that too.
Yeah, Jesse does that too. Yeah,
and I typically will like make my list straight from Cachly.
Do you?
Rather than like planning ahead of time. Well, I do. do both. I plan ahead of time too.
Number 6, not cetoing. Oh, the cetoing, not cetoing. Always leave the trail better than you found it. Quality geocaching extends beyond the cache itself, and we all play a part in making geocaching better for everyone. Yeah, I mean, if it's a nightmare, it's kind of hard to do. But if something, Jesse's usually pretty good about picking stuff up. She'll pick something up on the
I do.
trail. You do, yeah, you do.
Some days I'm better than others, but
I mean, it's hard when it's a nightmare, in there.
right.
But,
If
like a
if
bar wrapper or something like that.
if it's a side of the road dump, I'm not gonna be picking it all up. But if I see candy bar wrappers, bottles, whatever, I'm gonna try to see to it.
My pet peeve is when you get to ground zero and you're, in the middle of the woods, off the trail, and you are like within 20 feet of the cache, and you find a water bottle.
It's like, yeah, that was a friggin' more than likely a friggin' casher.
You know that was a
Shame on you.
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
hate that. So I always pick those up.
Yes, I know, and we're also very good about humping out what we bring in too. I
Mhm.
usually,
Yeah.
yeah, we're very good about that as well. I usually, by the end of the
I've
day-
never intentionally left anything behind. It's like I've left hiking sticks and stuff behind, and then it's like, yeah, okay, I need to go back and get that.
yes,
Sunglasses.
empty water bottles are a lot
So-
less weight than full water bottles. I tell you that much right now. A lot
Yeah,
less.
my favorite sunglasses are the middle of the woods currently.
Yes, Jessie lost her
I
sunglasses,
did not go back to get them.
and Jessie is very hard to find her sunglasses because of her face. So it's we're pretty sad. She got
What's
this
that supposed to
She
mean?
got this little mousy face, and so it's very difficult. Sunglasses look. She looks like wear the sunglasses that you
I
had.
threw them away.
Hold them on. They're in the box right next to you. Put them on right now so everyone can see like the cast the poor glasses you had to wear that one time. We were going to Mingo, and Jessie lost her sunglasses. I guess she does it a lot, but she found a pair in the cache right by Mingo. Right by Mingo, there's a cache that's got a crap ton of swag in it. And so she found sunglasses, which she had to wear but they're like, they're like huge on her face. Look how cute she is.
I found these sunglasses in the what
Ooh,
is that cache
some
called?
aviators.
The
Yeah.
Geo General Store.
Geo
which is
General Store,
The
thank you.
next cache over from Mingo.
Yes.
Found these sunglasses.
Yes.
They're ridiculous.
I think you look adorable. But
Those are back in style now.
no, she had a pair of aviators, but they were smaller.
These are way
Oh,
too
okay.
big. Yeah.
They fit her face well. These are a little big, but she looks so cute. Look at you. Look at you.
So they look crap. Aviators look like crap on my face, so
Mine too. Yes,
I
mine too.
can't wear them.
They look cute on Jessie. Jessie looks cute in aviator. So Jessie currently has no glasses, so she's not happy about it because she lost her glasses. Mistake number 7, not being safe. Be sure to tell someone, a friend, a partner, or a family member where you are going, how to get in touch, and about what time you expect to return. Set a turnaround time and make sure you check back in upon your return so they don't worry. Yeah, that I've always been really good about this, but I know people who don't. If I'm going out, I tell anybody, this is where I'm going and this is where I'm
Right.
going to be.
Well, I'm good at letting my wife know where I'm going and stuff, but once I'm actually physically out there, actually being safe, there's been some times where I've looked back, it's like, man, I could have snapped my friggin' neck.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I know.
We always let each other know if we're caching alone. Like, hey, I'm about to climb a tree.
I'll call you
So,
if you don't hear from me in 2 minutes.
I'll text you when I'm down.
I'm about to climb a big tree and I'm not comfortable about it. Yes.
Mhm.
So yeah, this one actually number 7 though, not being safe. I'm very good about that. I actually let people know. Mistake number 8, not staying aware of your surroundings. Yes. Oh man, most people don't do this. There are many reasons to stay aware: keeping an eye out for muggles, ensuring you have enough daylight, and not trampling plant life. However, one of the most important reasons to stay sharp is that trails look different when you turn around. Make sure you know which way you've come so you can make it back safely. This is what I always say whenever I'm walking a trail. I always make it a point to turn around and look. Just take a 2-second gauge of my surroundings just so I know what it looks like coming the other way.
Right.
But what it's funny because I always tell my 2 sons who go whenever they rarely go caching, but when they do, I say, look up. I'm sorry, I say look down. Don't just look up. You got to look down. Pay attention. Because my little 7-year-old, my 8-year-old, he's 8, will be like looking at the GPS, and next thing you know, he's face planting on the ground because he's not paying attention and he's tripping over a stick. So you got to be careful because next thing you know, you're gonna fall off a mountain or a hill. So yes, make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Keep an eye out for muggles. What I like to do is whenever there's a cop around and we're at a cache, I like to make Cody get out and go do it, or Jesse go do it. I'll try and angle the car a certain way so you can't see the lamppost. And make it many times. I think the record I once made Cody go like 15 feet from a cop and actually try and get the cache. We were really close to him.
Pretty sure he got it.
What?
I'm pretty sure he got it.
Oh, he got it.
So little kids don't look like they're doing a drug drop.
So guys, pay attention. Remember, always look up from the GPS. Don't just this is a great newbie hint here. Don't just pay attention to the GPS. Pay attention to your surroundings as well, because you don't want to fall off a mountain. Mistake number 9: not wearing the right shoes. This is so important. So there's an old saying, there's not poor weather, only poor clothing choices. And that's the truth in any which way. You might be tempted to wear flip-flops. Good Lord, flip-flops into the freaking woods.
We know someone who wears flip-flops into the woods.
I know someone, a local cashier here that does it too, and someone in Houston's like, come on, dude, one of these days you're going to pay for that.
Especially in the warmer months, these won't do you much good once you're hitting the trail. You never know when that perfectly level path is going to change to mud, get steep, or become slippery. Absolutely. If you're not wearing hiking shoes, you got to be crazy if you're in the woods.
But I will say, yes, go out and get a good pair of, nice hiking shoes, but don't wear them for the first time on a 10-mile hike.
No. Break them in.
Break them in first.
But make sure you get waterproof ones and waterproof them. Make sure you get waterproof ones and waterproof them. Because that will save your life many a times. Also, we have in the past, I know Jessie does in her car, she carries rain boots for sometimes, the high ones up to your knees, rain boots. Sometimes, you gotta trudge through something to get the cash.
I carry 3 pair of extra shoes in my car at all times: rain boots, sneakers, and flip-flops. And then in the winter, I throw in an extra pair of snow boots.
Right. Yes. I remember once we were hiking and we did a little research beforehand, and we found out that there was a creek crossing on the hike. Remember, just we were doing that.
I do.
Soldiers, the wounded soldier. Is that what it was?
The soldier story.
Soldier story. And so Jessie and I brought our Crocs with us, which was genius because they're really super light. Threw them in the backpack. We put them on across the creek. Took them off. They dry in 2 minutes, and threw them back in our backpack, and just put our socks and our hiking boots back on, and it was great.
Yep.
So something like that again. If you're, you take into number, what was that? You take into number 2, and then you add number 9, and there you go. We were fully prepared to go do that cache that day. So guys, wear the right shoes and the right clothing. Also, don't be stupid. Like I say, there's poor clothing choices. If it's if you look at the weather, pay attention to the weather, and dress accordingly. It's as a rule of thumb, it's always better to take off than put on. It's always better to take clothes off. Jan, anything to add to that?
Not to that. I'm reading number 10 here, and I'm just kind of scratching my head.
All right, well, let's read it here. Number 10: letting mistakes ruin your geocaching outing. This is Jessie right here. This is.
What is that supposed to mean?
Now that you've seen all the ways to avoid making mistakes while geocaching, it's time to let you in on a secret. There will probably be mistakes anyway. The trick is to not let this isn't really a number 10. The trick is to not let this get you down. Embrace the fact that you can't always control everything and have a great time anyway.
Exactly. Laugh at the situations that you can, cry at the ones that you can't.
Right, exactly. It's nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. Even us guys have been doing it for 10 years.
One of my favorite mistakes is misreading a multi-cache and and miscalculating the final coordinates and doing a half a mile bushwhack into hell, and realizing, and getting there, and I'm like, there's no cache here. After looking for 20 minutes and then going back and rereading everything, it's like, oh crap, I grabbed the wrong information.
Well, I've been caching a long time. I've been caching over 10 years. I have over 17,000 finds. There's one thing, there's two things I've learned in the 10 plus years and 17,000 caches. And that is that there's always a path. Number one, there's always a path. Okay. And number two, geocachers are always going to use it. And what that means is nobody's going to hike a half a mile into the woods, into bramble, into complete crap to hide a cache. If you're going through that, you're probably not going to get there. Or there's a way to get there.
So I quite often find a path on the way out instead of the way in.
That's the way everybody does. But
and that was one of the clues when I was there. This was early on in my caching career. But that was one of the clues when I was there. Is like, there's not a path out of here. Nobody hit a cache here.
Right. Nobody hit a cache. Nobody would hide a cache there. You know what? Only an a-hole would hide a cache there. That's it. Nobody else. And there's very few caches that would do that. I could think of one out of all the people I know, one person who would do that.
Yep.
And that's it. So 9 times out of 10, even 99 times out of 100, you got the wrong course. Or there's a path. You just got to find the path to get you there.
Mm-hmm.
Just see anything to add to that?
No.
All right. Yes, well done. All right, guys, that is the 10 mistakes to avoid while geocaching. It was a packed show. Not too bad. We hit it just in time with the Snag the Tag guys. Snagthetag.com. Go and sign up for snagthetag.com, guys. You'd be silly not to. Go get a coin. 300 of them, and I got one. Next week's show, Chad. So here's the situation here. Jesse and I have been having a little disagreement here. So I'm going to bring it up to the forefront, and I would love for people to please call in and chime in on this. Next week's show is the front yard geocache debate. That's what we're going to do. Jesse and I have moved into a new house. Ever since I've had a home, I've had currently, I've owned a bunch, but while geocaching, I've been involved with 4. One of them was a townhouse, didn't count. Not going to use that one. Not going to do it in a townhouse. But the other 3 were houses, freestanding houses. And so far, I'm 2 for 2 in having a cache in the front yard of those houses. Albeit the last house Jesse and I were in, it was on the side of the house. It was not on the front of the house. Now we have a new house here. We've got a new house. I would love to put a cache in the front yard. Jesse is now second guessing that decision. So we are going to have a conversation and debate about this next week. Guys, listeners, you guys got to comment. Any of you guys have one in your front yard, you got to call me. Come on, man. You got to call me.
Or if you have a good reason why you should not.
Or if you have a good reason, you should call into the show and convince me to not have one, or you need to call into the show and convince Jesse to have one in the front yard. Because I think they're awesome. I met so many cachers while having one in the front yard. I absolutely loved it. I loved having one in the front. When I had one in my old house, I had one literally in my front yard. And I urged people to knock on the door and come say hello, which they did. And it was great. Chad, what do you think? Really quickly. Your 2 seconds.
My wife has veto power.
Would you have one if you didn't have a wife, Chad, in a perfect world?
Yes. Oh, definitely. I had one basically as close as I could get to my front yard, and basically it was public space about 120 feet from my front door, I would say.
That's pretty close. There you go. Nice. There you go. So next week, guys, front yard geocache debate. Call us, give us a call if what you guys think. If you have one in your front yard, even better. I want to hear all about it. Convince Jesse to have one in our front yard. And then maybe what we'll do, Jess, is that for any out-of-towners who come, the first 5 out-of-towners, we can have a special gift for the first 5 out-of-towners. Not the Illinois people, because they're here. But only the out-of-towners or listeners. They gotta do a special thing for this so we know they're a listener of the show. Something like that. It'd be fun. Anyway, that's next week. We'll talk about it next week, guys. Chad, always a pleasure. Jesse, thank you so much for taking the calls. And here we go, guys. Give me a second. Please join us again next week as we take your calls live every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, right here at geocachingpodcast.com/live. The archived video versions of our podcasts are available on our website or on our YouTube channel, and the audio versions are available on most of your favorite podcatchers. If you like the show, please head on over to Apple iTunes and rate, review, and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it, and it really helps the show when you do. If you prefer to watch the show, please subscribe to the show on YouTube, and don't forget to click the little bell to get notified when we go live. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for updates on upcoming shows and general geocaching information. And hey, if you haven't already, please consider becoming a patron of our show. With tiers starting as low as $3, you'll get a ton of additional information, extra videos, extra audio, only available to our patron members. Please head on over to patreon.com today and subscribe. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast. Thanks once again to our sponsors, Cashly, Logwork, FTF Geocacher Magazine, and the Max Suds Body Company. Please visit our sponsors and tell them the GCPC sent you. That's all we got this week. So we'll see you next week talking about geocaching, taking your phone calls. In the meantime, be good, be safe, hug your loved ones, and we will talk to you guys next week. And we are clear.
Yay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, guys. So next week, guys, the infamous front yard geocache debate. The thing that's been debated for 20 years that geocaching has been around. The front yard debate. As you can see, guys, too, look, we've got, I'm very proud of this, so I'm mentioning it. We've got not curtains, we've got
Blinds.
blinds, so the neighbors can't see what we're doing anymore. Jesse didn't like not being able to walk around naked, so we wanted to.
So you're going to get slapped after the show.
I think I've seen in the chat room like 3 times somebody has said Scott's putting his foot in his mouth again. Jeez.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks so much for staying with us, and we will talk to you guys next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye, all.